In the shadows of ancient Egypt, a realm of forbidden knowledge lurked beneath the surface of their celebrated civilization. While the world marveled at their architectural wonders and scientific advancements, a darker undercurrent of mystical practices and arcane rituals pulsed through the veins of Egyptian society. These were the forbidden sciences, the dark arts that even the most powerful pharaohs dared not speak of openly. The ancient Egyptians recognized two distinct forms of magic: Heka, the benevolent force sanctioned by the gods, and its sinister counterpart, black magic. While Heka was embraced and practiced openly, the latter was shrouded in secrecy and fear. Those who dared to wield such malevolent power faced severe consequences, especially if their targets were the pharaoh or the state itself. But what drove individuals to risk everything in pursuit of these forbidden arts? The allure of power, the promise of immortality, and the ability to bend reality to one's will proved too tempting for some. Hidden away in secret chambers and whispered about in hushed tones, the knowledge of these dark practices persisted despite efforts to eradicate them. Among the most notorious of these forbidden texts were the shadow scrolls, said to have been penned with ink mixed with the blood of sacrificial victims. Only a select few priests from the temples of Hathor and Anubis were permitted to lay eyes upon these unholy writings. Within their pages lay formulas for summoning spirits from the Duat, the Egyptian underworld, and methods for binding an enemy-s soul to an animal-s body as a form of eternal torment. Perhaps most chilling were the spells designed to corrupt the pure heart, transforming it into an instrument of evil. But the shadow scrolls were merely the beginning. Legend spoke of the Book of the 12th Night, a text so potent it could only be read when the moon had vanished from the sky. Its purpose, to harness and control the very forces that govern eternal darkness. The ritual described within its pages was as intricate as it was terrifying. 7 torches, each burning with a different oil, were to be lit as a black bird was sacrificed. The names of the 14 guardians were then to be recited in a low voice until the practitioner's tongue crackled with otherworldly energy. Yet even these pale in comparison to the black tablets of eternity. Fragments of these mysterious artifacts have been discovered in non-royal tombs, suggesting they were officially prohibited by the highest authorities. Their purpose, to grant the wielders the power to erase their name from the book of life itself, becoming a being without destiny. The danger, however, was immense. Those who successfully used the tablets were said to vanish not only from the physical world, but from memory itself, as if they had never existed at all. Perhaps the most audacious of all forbidden rituals was the Dance of the Dark Planets, performed only when certain celestial bodies aligned in precise configurations. This ceremony promised the magician the ability to alter the fates of kings themselves. The ritual required a small wax statue infused with soil from a freshly dug grave, blurring the lines between the world of the living and the realm of the dead. The consequences for those caught practicing such forbidden arts were severe and terrifying. Some faced the agony of being burned alive within the confines of an abandoned temple, their screams echoing through halls once filled with prayers. Others suffered a fate perhaps even worse than death, having their names erased from all records, denying them the immortality that every Egyptian craved. The most unfortunate were subjected to spells that would curse them for eternity, ensuring they would never find peace in the afterlife. These lost texts and forbidden rituals were not mere myths or cautionary tales. They were tools of immense power and terror, secretly wielded by priests in their conflicts with rivals and enemies. The state, ever vigilant, sought to eradicate all traces of these dark arts. Yet, like shadows themselves, fragments of this knowledge persisted, appearing in cryptic inscriptions on temple walls or hidden away in the tombs of those who dared to defy the gods. The allure of forbidden knowledge extended beyond the realm of magic. Certain scientific and mathematical secrets were jealously guarded by the priesthood, accessible only to the elite few deemed worthy of such power. Advanced astronomical calculations, complex mathematical equations that could predict the flooding of the Nile, and the innermost secrets of medicine and surgery were all kept under lock and key. Even the sacred art of hieroglyphic writing was restricted, with its full complexity known only to a select few. This control of knowledge was not merely about maintaining power. It was seen as crucial for preserving the delicate balance between the mortal world and the divine realm. The line between science and magic often blurred in ancient Egypt, and nowhere was this more evident than in the realm of death and the afterlife. While the practice of mummification was revered and widely known, its deepest secrets were restricted to a handful of high-ranking priests. The knowledge of how to preserve a body for eternity was considered sacred, and using these techniques for nefarious purposes was a crime of the highest order. Even more forbidden was the knowledge of how to harm souls in the afterlife. The Egyptians believed that the journey to the afterlife was fraught with peril, and the idea that someone could interfere with this sacred passage was terrifying. Spells and rituals designed to trap or torment spirits were among the most closely guarded and feared secrets in all of Egypt. Religious taboos formed another layer of forbidden knowledge. Blasphemy against the gods, desecration of temples, and the revelation of sacred rituals to the uninitiated were all considered grave offenses. The gods were not to be trifled with, and those who dared to use religious knowledge for personal gain faced divine wrath as well as earthly punishment. As we delve deeper into the shadows of ancient Egyptian knowledge, we must ask ourselves how much of this forbidden lore has truly been lost to time. Are there still hidden caches of dark wisdom waiting to be uncovered in the sands of Egypt? And if so, what price might we pay for unearthing secrets that were meant to remain buried? The legacy of Egypt's forbidden sciences continues to captivate and terrify us to this day. It serves as a reminder that knowledge, like any tool, can be wielded for good or ill. In the end, perhaps the most chilling aspect of these ancient mysteries is not what we know, but what remains hidden, waiting in the darkness for those brave or foolish enough to seek it out.